Welcome to Rivals. I'm Scott Mitchell, your host. Rivals has arrived, and now we're going to go to the state of Washington. We're going to go on the east, and we're going to go on the west, because the two rivals in the state of Utah, BYU and Utah, are both visiting the Evergreen State. Well, they play the Apple Cup. Don't really know why, because it's called the Evergreen State. Anyways, they're going to go up and hopefully come home with victories. So let's start with our Utah Utes, who have struggled the last few games. Well, they've struggled scoring points, and everyone's up in arms about this. And they probably should be, simply because Washington State is very prolific on offense, and they score points. And a lot of times they score a lot of points. However, this Utah defense, pretty good this year. This will be a really good test for this Utah defense. This is probably the best passing team Utah's faced all year. It'd be interesting to see how the secondary matches up with this passing game and how the front seven actually match up in getting to the Washington State quarterback. The key, though, is really the offense getting on track. And quite frankly, the quarterback play of Tyler Huntley needs to be a little bit more sharp, like he was in the first game. And he's just kind of been a little bit tentative the last couple of games, forcing passes maybe where he shouldn't have. And really, everyone on offense just needs to kind of relax. Seriously, everyone just needs to relax. You're trying too hard. You're pressing, and every time you press, you force passes into the wrong places. Receivers drop the ball because they feel like they're letting everyone down, and the way out of it is just one play at a time. Just focus on the moment. Focus on the task at hand, the final goal. We're here to score touchdowns and win football games. Let's go do that. Instead of, I'm afraid to lose. I'm playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. It sounds silly. We say it all the time. This is a great example. This team's talented. It's a very good football team. And this is a great opportunity for the running Utes. Hopefully they'll do a little bit of passing, but hopefully they'll do a lot of scoring. All right, we're going to move on now to the west part of Washington, the Seattle area, where Brigham Young University, who is now 20th ranked in the country, faces number 11 Washington. That's right, BYU in the AP poll is number 20. A lot of people are like, it doesn't feel like BYU's the 20th ranked team in the country. They had a tremendous win at Wisconsin. I mean, it was like one of probably the biggest wins in school history on the road against such a high-ranked opponent. It was massive. It was massive because this team they were like 4-9 last year. In fact, it was almost the end of November before they had their third win of the season. This team is 3-1 right now, and we're not even into October. So they're playing really well. And really what's happened here, if you want to ask my opinion, Kalani Sitake, the head football coach, finally decided, this is who I am. And he really grew up as a head coach because he made a tough, brutal decision in the offseason to fire iconic and legendary BYU player, maybe the most legendary BYU player, Ty Detmer, who was his offensive coordinator. And the reality is the Ty Detmer type of offense didn't fit in with the personality and the scheme and the mantra of Coach Sitake. It wasn't a personal thing. It was just a scheme thing. And he needed to be a tougher, run first, play to our defense kind of coach. And he went out and got Jeff Grimes, perfect candidate for what he does. And of course, Jeff Grimes has shown a little bit of moxie and kind of creativity in the first few wins in the early part of the season. And this team has really gotten a lot tougher and has taken on the persona, the personality of its head football coach. And quite frankly, that fits really well going into Washington, because Washington is not a prolific offensive team. They're not going to go score a lot of points. And BYU actually is really strong against the run, and that's the strong point of Washington. Myles Gaskin is as good as there is in the country, and he is a talented running back. But they're very average on the perimeter skill players, the wide receivers. The tight ends are okay, but the perimeter skill guys aren't that great. And quite frankly, that's the kind of, I don't want to say the Achilles heel, but that's the soft spot in that defense for BYU. So as far as schemes, BYU matches up very well with this Washington team. However, this is going to be a tough game for BYU. They're going to need more. This is a great Washington defense. I mean, one of the top defenses that they will face all season. Wisconsin was not a top defense. It was a young defense. It was trying to find itself defense, and they're going to be up against a buzzsaw. The whole key to this game, without question, is can Tanner Mangum do more than what he's been doing in the past game for BYU, because they're going to need a little bit more of it. And here's the challenging part. This secondary for Washington, pretty darn good. So it'll be a fun matchup. I don't see this game being a blowout. It'll probably be a close game, but definitely BYU has got to get a little bit more going in their pass game if they're going to have a chance in this game. Still a good matchup. All right, you have it right there. You have your weekend rivalry matchups. The two big rivals are going to the state of Washington, and hopefully they come back with W's. Not Washington or Washington State W's, but actual wins. Rivals has arrived, and now it's time to go watch some football games. You can text Rivals to 65537. Go to those social sites, like us, dial us in on your smartphone. This episode of Rivals is over. Go home now. No. Go home. You can go home. We'll catch you later.